Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With a spot in the Super Bowl on the line, everything is on the line in today's conference championship matchup. It's the Saints going up against the Falcons. On the call here tonight, let's send it out to our guys in the booth. That's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. From the home of the Falcons since 1992, there's a look inside the Georgia Dome, just on the outskirts of downtown Atlanta. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. They come up in an offset eye. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Whenever I go to a team's practice facility and watch them work, I love to watch the defensive guys in what they call pursuit drills. The ball goes either towards them or away from them. How fast will they respond? On this play, the defensive end responded better than anyone and made a really nice play.
Now it's Lynch looking deep downfield. And got his man complete. He got 29 yards that time. Now, I guess, Charles, sometimes when you have a receiver well over 6 foot, you do that. Just put it up there, let him grab it, and he did.
And it certainly appears like a 50-50 ball, right? We always talk about that when both sides have a chance to get it, the receiver or the guy covering him. But I think the odds actually are in favor of the offense. They can see the ball coming oftentimes before the defender can get his head around. So I think that really goes to like 70-30, and they should be able to go up and get it most of the time.
And he got it there. A glance at the starting unit. Julio Jones, a threat on the outside, of course.
Combines great athleticism, incredible speed, and a whole lot of toughness to be one of the better receivers in the NFL.
Second and 10. It's Lynch again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
All right, here we go. Green, 30. All right, now look at 56. Look.
On second down, here's Lynch. Underneath from Miller. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Lynch looking to throw on second. And Jones has it over the middle. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Lamar Miller, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
2nd and 5. Now back to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, New Orleans. Brandon Cooks, 70 yards. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On second down, Lynch. And it's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
As we get a look at the defensive starters as secondary, they're certainly going to need to be on their toes in this one.
And you know me really well. Where do I start analyzing a game? From the secondary. And these guys have to be on point today. They're facing a high-powered attack.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Lynch. And his throw is incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense as that fell harmlessly to the ground. On 3rd down, Lynch. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good. So they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. 4 yards remaining now on 2nd down. They'll come out in the pistol.
Let's go. What?
Again, we'll see the pistol here. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down. It's 3rd down, 6 yards to go for the offense.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
And he's got Snead. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And this is incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And it's 2nd down. Second down following the incompletion.
Here we go.
On the counter, Elliott. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Offense just a yard away from the line they need to gain. 3rd down. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. The offensive line and its ability to open holes in this defensive front, something they were confident they could create in this game. Got the job done there, picked up the first.
And something they wanted to do. Have we ever met offensive linemen that don't want to fire out and hit people? I mean, they love the running game. Guys want to do that. And when you emphasize it, practice it, and work on it, that gives you an opportunity during the game. There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss.
Second down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. Play clock winding down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
Let's go. One, nine. Flex round. Flex round.
Time running out here on the play clock. They'll look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Here's Elliott. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And this seemingly endless drive continues. One man in the backfield, Elliott.
Here we go. One,
The play clock's running down.
Flex round. Flex round.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
2nd and 10 now. It's Lynch. And finding the tight end, Hooper. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
3rd down now following the completed pass.
Back there, gun. Hurry up. 319.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Lynch. And it's complete. Hooper. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
They'll come out in the pistol. This is Miller. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Green 39.
Play action. Now Lynch. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Now, they had the box stacked. That run was going nowhere from the start.
And when you say stacked, you really mean it, don't you? Because when you're talking about a 46 defense, commonly known as the Bear defense, you're covering up the guys inside, and you're allowing other people to get in there close to the line of scrimmage, usually an 8-man front. That's difficult to block for an offense. On that play, the defense won in a big way. No gain at all.
Throwing right, and that's complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
Miller. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is third down and 8. Miller, the lone setback. On third down, Lynch. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And they're going to come up empty here on fourth down.
Well, that pressure came right up the middle. Remember the good old days when they would scheme to make sure that they smacked the guy snapping the ball? And, you know, he had his head down. He's kind of in a vulnerable spot. Rules prevent that now. So you have to go about it a little bit differently, but you can still get pressure there.
And almost always, when you see somebody get to the ball, it comes off the edge. They're able to sneak through the middle of the line. Hard to believe.
Yeah, cardinal rule broken, isn't it? Right up the middle. That's supposed to be a place you protect the most. Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down.
Here we go. Red 38. Red 38.
Back to throw here. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. to throw here. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to float this one deep right side. Floating one incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Going motion right, Snead. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to take another shot here. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, New Orleans. Brandon Cooks. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Saints have taken the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. They come out here in the eye. Second and 10. It's Lynch again. The left side completion to Jones. And he goes down, but not before getting this in.
And throw him the football because of the timing of the route.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Here we go now.
They'll run with Miller. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Shift together here from the D-line.
Here we go.
Again, it's Miller. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Lynch. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He had his lone attempt blocked earlier. And his kick here is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So he missed a field goal earlier, but he says not this time, and he's able to knock it through to give his guys 3.
And that's all you want as a kicker, a chance to redeem yourself. You got to have a short memory if you're going to survive at this level, and he's able to get back on track.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Throw complete right side to Cooks. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. So completion on second down, that brings up third.
Let's go. Flex route.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And this is going to be incomplete.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Lynch looking to throw on second. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
Green 39. Green. Detroit. All right, here we go. Green 39. No. Gun.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. They're trying to establish that running game, but they're really having trouble, aren't they?
Yeah, when you're running against a really good 4-3 defense, that means you've got big guys inside who control things. Those big defensive tackles are making it very difficult to find open space.
Here's Lynch. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down. The Saints with an extra defensive back here on third on the field.
Could they blitz?
On third down, Lynch. And he comes back with one complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And it's taken in at the 9. Brandon Cooks, the 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Brandon Cooks saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Saints add on to their lead.
Partner, the old rules about not fielding punts inside your own 10, those things are way out the window, aren't they?
Yeah, they say put your heels on the 10-yard line, but when you return it, maybe your coach doesn't say anything to you, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of special teams coach, if they've got a special guy, they'll say, yeah, okay, you can go to the 8. But this one, he really had some guts.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out come the Falcons now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way,
now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
This is Elliott, and he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together.
Here we go. Man 38.
Again, it's Elliott. He leaps over him, fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
It seemed like the situation was second and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working on smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a third down.
Play clock winding down. He'll look to throw. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Brandon Cooks. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, They've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So we're getting symptomatic.
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Here's Lynch to throw. It's caught. Jones. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth. Fresh set of downs here. Now Lynch on first down. Wide open receiver complete. It's a gain of 17 that time. And it'll give the Falcons a first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Now it's Lynch. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
They go play action with Lynch. And he will find his man on the outside. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
On second down, here's Miller. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. They got to have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Lamar Miller, no gain on the play. And what to do now on 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in the game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll run. It's Miller. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Lamar Miller, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Falcons cut into that lead. So they went for it from the 1 on 4th and goal, and they got it done.
Is this the new NFL?
This is the new NFL.
This is the updated NFL, and I like it. I know that quarterbacks across the league have spent the entire offseason and even during the season lobbying their coaches to go for it more on 4th down. Let's go get it, because nowadays you've got to score points to win games in the NFL. You can't just rely on your defense to hold them.
I think the quarterbacks want to eliminate field goals inside of 30 yards probably.
Well, listen, they have enough confidence in themselves that they can call plays and make plays that they won't need those field goals inside the 30.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Time running out here on the play clock. Now Elliott. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
2 plays in a row, the defense won, stacking up the running game. They've got to feel good about themselves, but something has to be in the back of their minds. Are we being set up for something big? They've got to be careful.
Gone backwards so far in this series. 3rd and 13. The play clock's running down. On 3rd down, Elliott. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This is taken at the 18. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. Direct snap this time. Miller. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of this.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, 26 yards. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job 1. Now they have to convert, and then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard, and the time left on the clock, as you noted, so many things to go through.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Lynch going to try and throw for it. And this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points. It gets them back within a field goal. So just under 2 minutes to play, and this would figure to pretty much be your ball game right here. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3 and out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
The Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. Wildcat look. It's Elliott. And he will be stopped here for no gain, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
One man in the backfield, Elliott. Now this time he'll look to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Back to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And it all rides on this one play, a trip to the Super Bowl in the balance here on fourth down. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear that the Saints are going to win this football game. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game, although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking their headset off on the sidelines. They don't believe this game is over. The offense has to close this one out by taking care of the football.
And they'll try to close it out now. They will take a knee here and cue the celebrations. They are off to the Super Bowl. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
it.